Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Antoine Griezmann to Manchester United. Will it happen? Won't it happen? Three big strands to this story tonight about Antoine Griezmann. Diego Simeone has basically come out and said that Manchester United, or any other club for that fact, but probably Manchester United, can sign Antoine Griezmann and they will be powerless to stop it happening. He has a termination clause and they have no security that he is going to stay at Manchester United. The termination clause, for people who don't understand what that is, it's basically the £89 million release clause. If we offer them 90 million, Atletico Madrid can do nothing, and it's down to Griezmann whether he wants to come to Manchester United or not. I think that's quite telling from Simeone to come out and say something quite negative about their star player. Maybe he's trying to reverse psychology, I do not know. But what he also said, Simeone, was this, that he is planning on staying at Atletico Madrid for another year, which will surprise a lot of people. It surprises me as well. I didn't think he would be staying for another year. If he is staying for another year, that impacts on a hell of a lot of players, not just Griezmann, but Oblak, if you want him as a replacement for De Gea if he goes, Saul Niguez, Jimenez, the centre-back. It makes it difficult for all of those because they love Simeone and they like what he's done at Atletico Madrid. So that is very, very, very interesting. However, there's lots I want to talk about tonight, but the big thing I want to talk about is the thing that the media do not want you or me or anyone else to know about the Griezmann deal. Because all week, all we've had from the Red Tops and everybody else, Griezmann on the verge of move to Manchester United. Griezmann to be a Manchester United player in the next 48 hours. We've seen this crap for the last 48 hours. And I'm going to tell you why it won't happen in the next 48 hours. And it won't happen probably to the end of May at the earliest, probably June, July. And the simple reason is this. Hello, I'm Manchester United. Is that Antoine Griezmann? Hello, it is. How are you doing? We'd love you to come to Manchester United. Brilliant. I love Paul Pogba. I like the idea of playing for Jose Mourinho. When do you want me? Well, we want you now. We want to announce it now, but probably this summer because you're under contract with Atletico Madrid at the moment. Okay, we'll speak to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, we'd like to sign Antoine Griezmann. We don't want to sell him to you, in all fairness. He is our best player. He really fits in well here. But if you offer 90 million, we're powerless. Fantastic, say Manchester United. Okay, Griezmann, the deal can go ahead. Griezmann says, well, I don't really want it to be known publicly at the moment for many reasons. One, it would be illegal because we're outside the transfer window. And two, I'll probably really piss off all the Atletico Madrid fans that really like me at the moment, and there's a slim chance we might win the Champions League. We've got into the final for the last couple of years, twice in the last few years. We might win it, so I don't really want to be finishing my time at this club where I've done really well, and I really respect the manager, by everybody knowing that I'm off to Manchester United. And also, I don't know whether you're going to be in the Champions League next year. Good point, Antoine. We'll wait till May at the latest, see how you do in the Champions League, see how we do, and reconvene then. Fantastic, superb, speak to you then, goodbye. Now the press, they want you to believe that it's going to get announced in the next few weeks, the next few days, the next few hours, because they are desperate. It's the international break, nobody's interested in it, and they've got to generate something. So they spend the last few months ripping the piss out of our manager, ripping the piss out of Pogba, having a go at Manchester United, but oh, lo and behold, there's no football. They haven't got wall-to-wall football to promote. They can't, slating us is not a good idea because suddenly there's no football that anyone's interested in. What sells papers? Oh, I'll tell you what, the biggest club in the world. Let's just make up a load of nonsense about the biggest club in the world, and suddenly we'll like that biggest club in the world because that will generate us income because people will want to read our crappy headlines. And that's what's happening with Griezmann. So what I would say to you about Griezmann is I still believe that this deal will happen, but I'm not going to allow myself to get bored by it. Like, remember Pogba last summer? We got bored of it because we got excited thinking, bloody hell, we're going to sign Pogba. This surely can't happen. And then what happened is it went on and on and on for weeks and weeks and weeks. So ultimately, we got quite bored of it. I don't think Griezmann deserves that to happen because I think the media is actually just building up something that actually takes common sense just to work it out. Griezmann's not going to announce he's going to any club, let alone Manchester United at the moment, whilst he's still challenging with Atletico Madrid. And he doesn't know what Manchester United's position is, and he won't know till May. But the media, they want us to be bored by it because they want to sell papers. And that's what is happening with Griezmann at the moment. So unless something comes out of Simeone's mouth, Mourinho's mouth, or Griezmann's mouth, I would pay very little notice to it because this is how the media works. This is why, in the last 24 hours, we've signed Perisic, Jimenez, Who else? We're signing Hernandez back. We've signed about 5 players in the last 24 hours because the media need us to click and read their crap, and that's what it is. I still believe that we will get Griezmann. I just think we're going to have to wait a little bit of time for it to happen. I want to talk about, good point from Edwin Castro. We did this video at 8:30. Let me just let people know. We did this video at 8:30, and something on YouTube has basically meant that we could all watch it live, but when we ended it, it's lost. It's just gone. The video's gone. So I had to come back and do it again, and hopefully it will stay this time. But the positive is obviously, it's not a positive to see Seamus Coleman's leg just hanging off, but at least we can make a comment on that. And what I want to say is horrified by it, absolutely horrified. Lived in Ireland for 3 years. I've got friends, my best man is Irish, so I've always had an affinity to them for many years. And on top of that, I really like Seamus Coleman. He's a player that I've wanted to sign for Manchester United for a long time. I think we really miss having an Irish representation in the Manchester United squad. I wanted him to come to Manchester United. Valencia's doing great, but he could have pushed him. He could have been his understudy, whatever. But it's not going to happen now. I mean, that injury was horrific. It was a horror tackle by Neil Taylor. I don't want to get on him too much because we all do things in the heat of the moment. Roy Keane's my favourite Manchester United player ever. And look what I did to Alf-Inge Haaland. It was horrific. It sometimes happens. So I don't think he should be hung out to dry. He'll take his punishment. And I'm sure he never wanted to do that to Coleman. But it's a bad break. I wish him all the best. I hope he can come back from it. Sometimes the most horrific injuries like that, you come back from it as long as it's a clean break. You just got to worry about whether there's other breaks and infection and things like that. It's a bit like the Luke Shaw thing. If it's one clean break, he can come back from it. So hopefully he'll be okay. But really, really, really sad. That's that covered. Also, we've signed a player as well. Well, not signed a player. We've been linked with him for the last year. United sort of didn't think they were going to get him, but he is going to hopefully be coming. We're in competition with Man City and Chelsea, but because we've had quite a good relationship with Ajax in the past, it looks like we'll get this lad. He's a centre forward, and his name is Deshaun Radan. He's just turned 16. He plays up front, meant to be the next best thing, like Tahith Chong sort of player. So yeah, looks like he'll be coming, which would be good. I like the fact that we are looking to sign young players. Started off with Van Gaal, and it has sort of continued. So that's good. But what about the? I just wanted to touch on that very quickly. Actually, it's very difficult for Manchester United these days because obviously, traditionally, we got David Beckham from London years and years before. We got the likes of Duncan Edwards from Dudley and Bobby Charlton from up in the northeast. It's hard to do that now because you've got catchment areas. It's a bit like schools, really. You can only go for players within a certain catchment area. So you're meant to just be getting local lads from Manchester. In fact, I think Liverpool got recently in trouble for trying to get somebody from Stoke. But I don't necessarily agree with it. I think what's wrong with it being national? I know what's wrong with it, really. It means that the small clubs can't get the talent from places like Carlisle or something like that. But it's just sad in a way because it means that we have to go and get more foreign players. But that's how it works. Roy Keane ended a man's career on purpose. I will never respect him for that, says Jonah. He didn't actually. He didn't. That is such a myth. He did not end Alf-Inge Haaland's career at all. It was his other knee that was knackered and caused him to retire. It wasn't the knee that Roy Keane stamped on. So that is a myth perpetuated by Roy Keane haters. This is not true. Getting him is not the problem. He's gone like the fans. Okay, I don't want a 16-year-old. We have Rashford, T-Dog man. You've got to think about the future. Don't be so narrow-minded. Cantona, what's your opinion on Coleman snapping his leg? We've done that. Judy X, I think it's horrific, and I really like him as a player as well. I would like him of Manchester United. Aidan O'Connolly says, what exactly did Simeone say? Covered it at the start. Basically said that he's probably going to stay at Atletico Madrid for another year, which could be quite a negative because people have sort of said in the past that if Simeone leaves, Griezmann will leave. If Simeone stays, he might stay. But what Simeone did say is that Griezmann could leave this summer. It's out of their hands because they have no way of making him stay because of the termination clause, which is effectively the buyout clause. Mark Moon have had to come back on because the stream from before has disappeared. PSG and Chelsea also going for Griezmann. Don't make me laugh. Chelsea won't get Griezmann, and if he goes to PSG, he's just going for the money. Why would he go to PSG? Why would he go and play against farmers? You know, and I know what people are going to come back and say, look at Monaco. Well, Monaco and PSG are streets ahead of anybody else. Saint Etienne are like 4th or 5th in the French league, and that's 4th or 5th with about another 15 clubs behind them. Imagine how crap the bottom 10 in the French league is. How many special people change? How many lives are living strange? Tyler, lovely Oasis song. Where were you while we were getting high? Enough about Griezmann, please, for God's sake. Thank you. Next topic, please. Well, it's a video about Griezmann, so we're going to talk about Griezmann. That's the way it is. 90 million seems a bit steep for Griezmann. Of course it does. 90 million is very steep for Pogba, isn't it? He doesn't even score many goals. Lacazette is linked to replace Griezmann, says the Daily Vlogger. Well, Lacazette's an out-and-out striker. Griezmann's not an out-and-out striker. He's a number 10. Martial is being wasted. Did you like Podolski's goal? Didn't watch it. I saw it on a replay. It was a good goal, but nah. I think we should have a buyout clause, says Andrew Ellis. Griezmann deserves to play at United, says Charles Bennett. I'm sure he will. Please drop a like on the video because coming on back late at this time is a bit annoying. I'm hoping this one will work. That's why I'm not going to go on for ages because I don't know whether it'll work. Snapping your tibula and fibula is basically the same. 2 different bones, but it would heal the same. I think people are speculating about Coleman. Chris Smalling's injured. Obviously, that came out today. Phil Jones already injured. And I would predict Phil Jones is pretty much out for the season. He's out for the most of April, and then he's got to get himself back fit. So forget about Phil Jones. I don't know what the Chris Smalling injury is, but I tell you what, I like Smalling, but ultimately Rojo and Bailly are probably our first choice centre-backs. If we lose one of them, we're in trouble. This is the last international break. Fingers crossed we'll get through it. But, you know what? I've wanted Antoine Griezmann to play more all season, although I agree with those people who say he'll play Carrick at centre-back before he does that. Is the old man Zlatan leaving? I don't know. And Tyler says he'll staple his testicles to his wardrobe if we don't sign Griezmann. There we go. I don't want to say I'd like to see that, but there we go. Grizzy has an 85 million release clause, says T-Dog Man. Griezmann off to Chelsea. Dream on. I mean, come on. Chelsea have had it absolutely on a plate this year. They did very well to get Kante. If anybody of any note had challenged them for that, Kante would have gone to them. I mean, this is Chelsea, who were a mid-table team and not in Europe. And they benefited from not being in Europe because basically they've kept the same team that won the title a couple of years ago, who down tools like mercenaries for Mourinho. They get a new manager in, and all those players who were effectively Premier League winners suddenly decide to play again. And then you add Kante, who won the title for Leicester, in, and people just... Let's not forget they had an awful start to the season, and people just think Conte is the next coming of Jesus Christ, and he's not. He's just a Red Bull addict. He runs up and down the sideline, baying at the crowd like he's, you know, he thinks he's bloody Conte the Destroyer or something, Conan the Destroyer. Bloody thinks he's on WWE because he just, you know, runs up and down. And the mercenary, baseless, shallow Chelsea fans mop it all up. Conte. Mourinho comes to town and they're like, fuck off Mourinho, fuck off Mourinho, fuck off the man who made us what we are, fuck off the man who won his like 2 or 3 Premier League titles, get lost, we're shallow, we've got a new favourite in town. And that's Chelsea for you, and that's their players. They've done that twice at Chelsea. They down tools to get rid of Villas-Boas, and they down tools to get rid of the best manager Chelsea have ever had, their players. So I just think Griezmann going to Chelsea, not going to happen. Pogba will tell him to not go there and he'll come to Manchester United, and that's what will happen. And we'll win the title next year. You've heard it here first. Griezmann coming to United is all over YouTube and it's annoying, says Awesome Guy. Is it? Is it really? Is it really? You only need to go to one place for Manchester United transfer news. That's the United Stand. And I'm not here tonight to tell you that Griezmann's signing for Manchester United. He will. In my mind, he will. But I'm not going to tell you he's signing for Manchester United. And I'm actually here to destroy all that clickbait nonsense and tell you as Manchester United fans just to take a chill pill, because you'll ruin this deal for yourselves. You'll ruin it. You'll get pulled in by the media who are going to regurgitate it for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. And by the time it actually happens, you'll be bored of it. And that's not fair. You don't deserve to be bored of it, because just use the common sense. It is March. You can't sign anybody in March. He's still in the Champions League with Atletico Madrid. We don't know whether we're in the Champions League yet. This deal will not even... I'm sure there's been tentative inquiries. I'm sure the deal's on the table. I'm sure Atletico Madrid are aware of it. I'm sure Griezmann's aware of it. Obviously, Manchester United are aware of it. Everybody's aware of it. Everybody knows about it. But there's factors there. There's Atletico Madrid, who will want to win the Champions League with them, or even though I don't think he will. And he doesn't know where we are. And we won't know where we are till May. So nothing's going to happen. So these media outlets saying... oh, it's on the verge of happening. 48 hours and the deal will be done. Bollocks. Absolute rubbish. He can't play for us. If he signed tomorrow or agreed the deal tomorrow and Atletico Madrid agreed the deal tomorrow, he can't play for us competitively till August. He's got to fulfil his contract at Atletico Madrid till the end of this season. So imagine if he did sign for us or said, I'm joining Manchester United. Imagine the crap he's going to get next weekend when he goes back to Atletico Madrid. It's not going to happen. But the media treat people like idiots to get people to click their videos, their links for their papers and shit like that. That's what's happening. Daily Vlogger, is Martial going to leave? I think watch this space with Martial. I don't think he is going to leave, but I do agree with the doubters and the doubters out there who are concerned, because I like Martial a lot, and I think there are people out there a bit concerned that Mourinho might not like him. I think it'd be the absolute... I'd go mad if he sold him. I'm not going to say he's not going to sell him. I'd go mad if he sells him, because I like Martial a lot. But I do have concerns. I've done the video on Perisic. That actually is up on the channel, so you can go and watch that one after this, and it will tell you everything about Perisic. Whether Mourinho's in Croatia to talk a deal about Perisic, I don't know. I actually quite hope he is, but Perisic didn't play for Croatia tonight because he was suspended. Mourinho was over there talking to Perisic's agent. Would Mourinho fly all the way to Croatia to talk to Perisic's agent but not watch him because he's suspended? I don't know. Could have been watching somebody else. Ukraine against Croatia, could have been watching somebody else. Perisic has other clients. But I like Perisic. Watch the video on him if you don't know who he is. Can play on the left wing. 28, very experienced, very, very good player. Dynasty YT hates me. I don't give a shit. Greasy, number 10, says Jamie Jones. And... if Griezmann stays at Atletico for one more season, who would we go for? I think we'd have to move on, Joey Moses. I really do. I think we'd have to move on and not wait another year for him. Manchester United are Manchester United. Mourinho is Mourinho. I think realistically you've got to have a contingency plan and you've got to say it's a one-trick pony. The problem I think we have with Zlatan, as much as I love him and as much as I love Pogba, is they sort of have this bigger-than-the-club attitude. And I don't like that, and I don't think we should be waiting about for anybody. And if he wants to come, great. If you don't want to come to Manchester United, great. We'll move on. I mean, I'd love Aubameyang at Manchester United, but I get the feeling that he'd rather go to Real Madrid or Barcelona. And if that's the case, you go. You go. And you don't come. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'm not het up, I'm tired, and I'm just really hopeful that this stream will actually work, because we've done it 3 times tonight and YouTube is getting on my nerves. But thanks everybody for watching. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning we'll have the United Ramble with Robbie the dog, for those who like that. And Sunday night at 8:30 we've got the Mourinho review. What's he done well, what's he done bad, and I'll be talking about a few of the bad things and also some of the good things. A couple of spoilers. Rojo, what he's done has been fantastic with him. Bad things, 4 minutes in the Premier League for Fosu Mensah is a disgrace by March, to be honest. But we're talking about that a little bit more. If you've not seen the Perisic video, get over there and watch that. If you are brand new to the United Stand and you've just found it, hologram in the bottom right hand corner, subscribe and get involved with the United Stand channel, which is all about your opinion. And please do drop a like on the video. And hopefully, if you're not watching live, you can watch this, because YouTube seems to be getting rid of our live videos at the moment. There's obviously an issue with it, but let's see. Cheers everybody, thanks for watching, and hopefully this will work. But hopefully you understand the Griezmann situation now. I'm sure we'll be mentioning him on future videos, but there won't be some video going, he's signed, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen till May the earliest, probably June, maybe even the start of July. Thanks for watching, speak to you all very soon. Hope it made sense. I hope this video works.